Hey, I'm Martin from Beast in Black, and you are watching Richard Metal Fan.
Hey, what's up, guys? Episode 357 of Richard Metal Fan Interviews, calling from Zoom, and I'm here with mate Molnar from Beast in Black. So, how are you doing today, mate? It is great to be able to have you on.
Well, thank you very much for this invitation. We are in London, Zeppelin Yard. At the moment, we just started a tour with Halloween, which is like really, really nice. So I'm happier than ever.
Yeah, yeah, it's great to be able to have you on. So, kind of the format is I want to talk about like your musical history and sort of do a speed run of your discography, but take me back to young mate Molnar. So, growing up in Hungary, what were the first bands that got you into metal and what made you want to slap at a bass?
Well, when you are a small teenager, it's not the bass, the instrument which you want to choose. You want to be the best solo guitarist in the world. I did the same. I had the same thoughts back in the day. But to be honest, the first bands which I liked the most it was Roxette, uh, their Joyride, Look Sharp, Joyride, years, and then Bon Jovi. And later, I turned more into these thrash metal bands like Megadeth and Overkill. They were that time my ultimate favorite bands. So that's how it slowly started. It at the age of 12, 13, around that time.
All right. And before Beast in Black, you were in the band Wisdom. Like, tell me about that because I'm nobody ever talks really about Wisdom. So, how'd you end up starting the band? Because the band formed in 2001. How'd you get to know like everybody in Wisdom?
Yeah, I formed this band in 2001, indeed, as you say, from musicians who's been like known already within the country. In Hungary, it's the metal scene is not that huge, and it's really hard to break out from the country. But we started with that purpose that we will make it somehow outside of the country with this kind of heavy power metal which we did, and after 10 years, we indeed made it out of the country. Started the first tour. Our first tour was with Severon. So
Oh,
it
wow.
went quite well, especially inside Hungary. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it was a 3.5 months long tour. What was their album? Code of Arms, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the album, or that was a Swedish Empire tour. Anyway, we were supporting them with L80, and that was my first experience. It really is 3.5 months, not in one turn. It was in three legs. It was two legs, three legs, like 2 months in West in Europe, A market, and then 2 weeks in the UK, and another 1 month in the B market, Europe, and that was when I learned the most about this business. So I'm doing a lot of back management things behind the band in Beastie Black as well, but back then entirely in Wisdom, and that was a tour where I learned the most in the like how to do it, what to pay attention to. But back then that was my first European tour, and I thought it's like that's gonna be my life from now.
Yeah. But tell me about like that first like Wisdom EP, the self-titled one from 2004. I thought that was like a great introduction to the band. Like, where was that recorded at?
I'm sorry once again because that was again a breakdown.
All right. All right. So tell me about like that first Wisdom EP, the self-titled one, which came out in 2004. I thought it was a really good introduction to the band. Like, where was that recorded at?
It was home recording already back then. So I had the guitarist who's been writing the songs. I wrote the lyrics, and he wrote the songs. And in his home studio, that's how he basically started. And later on, we did all the records in his own home studio. And actually, that guy's been working a little bit for Beast in Black as well later. We had a Japanese live release, and he's been doing that mix and mastering in his own studio. But it's a later story. So the first EP, I think it came out in 2004. has been recorded there. And yeah, indeed, it was a kickstart for the band. We shared it for free. We got a contract with the local metal hammer. It was called Hammer Word, and as a extra to the magazine, which then it was 10,000 copies they could sell at that time, 20 years ago. They added this EP to that magazine, and that made us known within the country immediately.
Nice. And then of course you got signed to, I believe, the first label for the first full length, Nail Records. So how did they find Wisdom?
Well, we didn't have, we don't and didn't have too many options in Hungary to when it comes to record companies. There was a brand new company owned by this magazine, Hammer World magazine. They started to spread their wings in different areas as well. Later, they started to book bands, so work as a booking agency as well. Now they are called Hammer Music, Age Music. So that was a starting point for this label. And Nail Records, Hammer Records, they are quite the same with different conditions. So we signed with this Nail Records, which spread the name and distributed us within Hungary only.
Yeah, but then you put out Words of Wisdom, the debut full length Wisdom album. I thought it was a great like debut full length album. So, what was sort of like the mindset going into making like the debut full length Wisdom album?
Uh, we figured out a world for this. Starting from the name Wisdom, we had a character called Wise Man, and we figured out a story with Wise Man, and it was actually a pretty nice story. I really enjoyed. We did 4 albums in total, and these EPs, and all the albums they had stories. The albums themselves, they were not conception albums, but there was always a story around it. And Words of Wisdom was Wisdom EP was a starting story, and it continued with the first full-length album, which brought a huge success for us in Hungary. And then we started to play big venues. We collected a lot of fans, so it was really a good start. And because the first EP with 4 songs, it was some could tell it was a lucky start. But
Yeah,
after the
kind of like the sneak
real
preview.
full-length album, yeah, it's then we were a good household name in metal in Hungary. But soon after that, unfortunately, we had to part ways with the singer. And switching singers, that's usually the worst case scenario which can happen to a band, and that's what happened to us as well.
Yeah, yeah, because he was only on like the first album, and I think he did the next EP, At the Gates.
I think, yeah, well, true that. That came in 2007 with that was a report, kind of report that we are still live working. We had a replacement singer who was not singer for the band in long term. When we parted ways with the original singer, we had some shows booked, or which we had to do, and this singer helped us out, and in the end we released this short EP with him. But it was just a report that we are like really still alive, and we started to look for another singer heavily at that time.
Yeah,
Which took 3 years to
yeah,
find him.
yeah, which was a Gaber. So, how did he join Wisdom?
We found him somehow. Really, for 3 years we've been auditioning people. We've been trying to find singers from other countries. There were names which you may know nowadays. They sing for good bands, and but none of them turned out exactly as how we wanted. And in the end, somehow, I think this guy we are talking about we call him NG, but Gabor Nagy. He's been singing for a Iron Maiden cover band. I think that's how we found him. I'm not 100% sure anymore. It's been almost 20 years ago. But I think that's how we found him. And he was very interested, very talented. Even today, he could sing anything. So he is now looking for a band. Finally, he had some throat problems for 5 or 6 years. So he couldn't, when we quit with Wisdom, the one reason was that he had serious throat issues, and but now he's back. So I hope that he will find his place in this metal scene, because he has a really good voice, and he is very good, has a very good look as well. You know, a real character on stage.
Yeah, but tell me
Let's
about
see.
yeah,
But
but
anyway,
yeah,
that's
but
how we found him.
yeah, but tell me about making Judas with his first record with the band. Did you feel like nervous at all, like debuting like a new singer in the band?
Yeah, of course we felt nervous, and we had a great plan, in my opinion. This new singer wore a mask on the first in the first year, so nobody knew what. You usually do it with singers who are known, but he wasn't a known singer. But still, it gained some interest around, like excitement around the band, which is a really good thing. And I think Judas was a very good album, maybe the best from Wisdom or the next one. I don't know. I cannot really decide from those, but at least that album found big labels, including AFM, for instance. But we didn't sign with AFM because more offers came in at the same time, miraculously. I don't know how it happened, but in the end, we signed with another label. It was called Noise Records, German record company. It was a part of Napalm Records, which exists even nowadays too. Well, one of the biggest European heavy metal label, and we signed with them, and that's basically they were at the same time we contracted with Rock the Nation booking agency, and they took us to this tour with Severon. So that's how we got to that tour in the end. But yeah, Judas been also produced and recorded by the guitar player, songwriter, guitar player at his home, and we've been writing that album for 4 years, I think. And then that album's been recorded by several singers. Really, it was an interesting period, but it was we didn't know what to expect. It comes out with a new singer, but everything turned out great in the end. So luckily, that's my international career started at that time.
Yeah. And then next album is Marching for Liberty. I thought that was a great album. Tell me about that.
Yeah, after the success of Judas, we had to come up with something equally good, and I think we could make that challenge. I personally like that album pretty much, like equally to Judas, and that gained a good fan base to us, especially in Germany. We went on tour with that, I think, with Powerwolf, and then we had our co-headline tour with Majesty back then, that band when they existed. We had really nice songs on the album, but the problems started with that album at the same time, because we lost our Facebook page, which was back then. We are talking about 2014. Back then, Facebook was huge, and if a band didn't have a Facebook well-running social media Facebook page, that band didn't count that much anymore. And for some reason, we lost it from one day to another without reason. And it took 1 year to get it back somehow with lawyers, and it was a really tough period. And then somehow everything started to go down. We couldn't really reach out to fans. So something went wrong at that time. We still worked on the next album, which came out in 16, but it wasn't the same. We lost the grip. I
Yeah.
don't know. Somehow
That
we,
shit's crazy, man.
yeah. We had really bright future ahead of us. That's how we thought. That's how we saw it, and then it's somehow it's not only Facebook thing. Many things came together at the same time, and I didn't know that you're gonna ask about wisdom, and I didn't really. It's been more than 10 years ago, so I really have to recall my
Yeah.
memories about
Yeah,
that
I'm a
experience.
huge fan, man. I'm diehard.
Oh, really?
Hell yeah.
Thank you,
I
thank
could be
you.
like one of
It's
the
good.
few
It's so
Americans
funny.
that know about wisdom.
Yeah, we never made it to America. Actually, we had a big fan in America who later helped us out in many helped us out with lyrics and later with Beast in Black even. He created stage decoration for us, so the connection stayed
Oh,
for long.
wow.
And he was a guy. He sent money in an envelope just to purchase some of our albums because I don't know, I think we didn't have the proper web shop to for ordering to America, to Europe we had, but not to America. So that guy just never met, never talked, never did anything, just sent some, I don't know, we are talking about $30 or something like that,
Yeah.
but for us it was like wow. Okay.
Yeah.
with some gift with some gifts, I of course we sent everything to him, whatever he wanted. So yeah, there are some people who knows us in America, but we are touring now. I'm touring with the Beast in Black all over the world, and I would say there's not a single venue, especially when we can meet fans. There's not a single venue when there's at least one person is not asking about wisdom. It's just I didn't know that wisdom went that far. We didn't do that big things back in the day, so
Yeah.
it's a nice feeling to me.
Yeah, but still talking a bit about Marching for Liberty. I love the last song, which is the title track, working with Fabio Leone, of course, formerly of
Yeah.
Rhapsody of Fire and currently with Angra. So how did he end up featuring on that song?
We've how was that? We had this, we had this background story for all the albums, uh, and we that was another which connected the albums. Another thing that we asked famous singers or singers who we liked from outside of the country to guest sing in one song. Usually it's the titles. It was a title song. In Judas, it was Mats Levin. I really love his voice. Uh, and in Marching for Liberty album, reached him out somehow. I can't remember exactly how it was. Uh, I remember I wrote to him to his email address, or I really honestly I can't remember how it was, but he was super nice from the first email, and yeah, we just why not? And he did a great job. I like that song too.
Yeah, same. He has
Well,
a great
especially his
voice. One of the best frontmen
yeah, and
I've heard.
and next year we had this kind of anniversary show every year for 10 years in a row called Keep Weizmann Alive, and we started to invite bands who we liked. Once it was Powerwolf supporting us back then, and then it was Pulse, and it was Delane, and then in the 1 year after this album release, we invited Fabio Leone for this show. So he came, sang this song together with us, and another Wisdom song. Yeah, and the Rhapsody song. Yes, we did
Yeah.
that too. So yeah, it was great times, nice memories. Thanks for
Yeah.
refreshing them.
Anytime, anytime. And then, of course, the last Wisdom album, Rise of the Wise. I thought it was a good album, and sadly, the last one that you would do. So, well, what was that recording like for Rise of the Wise?
It's been again recorded and produced everything by the guitar player songwriter, and even though it was called Rise of the Wise, and it was on purpose we gave that title to the album because we expected either we rise or we quit, and we named it Rise of the Wise, but in the end, it's like the downfall of the wise. So we couldn't make him rise, couldn't make the band rise, and we just stayed on the same certain level. Uh, and we thought that it's better to quit. I don't know how is the English word for that when you before you go down,
Like
you're on
quit
a
while you're
certain
ahead.
level. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So like after 15 years, we decided to finish the band because I mean, not finishing the band. We went on a hiatus for who knows how long. So we are still in contact. We are talking, meeting each other, and then. So it's very possible at some point when, let's say, Beast in Black is not as busy as it is now. It's very possible, maybe for one show, maybe even for an album. I don't know. Maybe only in 20 years. There's no certain plans. We just enjoy what happens to us at the moment, and then if time will tell. Anyway, time will tell when to do something together again. But once again, especially with the guitar player songwriter, we are very good friends ever since, and the connection is the same with the singer. Anton was the last guitarist in the
Yeah.
band, and the drummer also. Drummer is our drum tech now. So in this team, like so. We are a small family. Anything can happen anytime. Not anytime, so not next year, but at some point in the
Yeah.
future.
So you already had met Anton before you started up Beast in Black. So how did you meet him?
Yeah, it's we supported Powerwolf together. He's been playing for Battle Beast that time. I've been playing for Wisdom, and they did the whole tour, which was 4 weeks. But after 2 weeks, another band, I think it was Ashes of Ares, they did only 2 weeks with them, and then we replaced Ashes of Ares. But Battle Beast did the whole tour. So after we joined, on the right after the first show, I remember we started to talk with Anton, and this talk started to escalate. We've been talking for 20 minutes, and then an hour. We've been standing. Yeah, it was during the Nightliner ride in the evening, and we've been standing at the door. Uh, and people came up and down in the Nightliner. We were just there talking. We were supposed to talk only for a few minutes, but we've been talking, I think, a few hours in the end. So the chemistry worked from day one already, and it went on until the end of that tour, which was for us it was 2 weeks only. But we've been talking a lot about not talking about forming any bands. And I think it's just like we had the same visions about how to operate a band. That's how it started. That's how I met him. It was 2013, so 2 years before Beast in Black was formed. And then he quit his own band, Battle Beast, in 15. And I remember he was still in the band. Sorry, I went a little bit forward. So he was still in the band. We've been he came. So he's been supporting Sabaton with Battle Beast in 15 January. They came to Hungary and he invited me to the show. I went there. We again talked, and he said like, yeah, maybe he's not gonna stay long in this band anymore. I was super surprised because it's his own band. He writes the songs, he writes lyrics, he figured out the whole story and everything behind it. But this is his own business anyway. And I told him, or asked him, what are you gonna do after if you quit the band? And he says like, I'm gonna form another band. Okay. I was like, you can call me on if you need a bass player. So that's how I started basically, and there was a little twist in the story because a few months later he indeed quit for Battle Beast, and our guitar player in Wisdom, he joined Ailstorm. He's still playing for Ailstorm for 10 years. And we needed a guitar player. Anton was free. We were good friends. So I asked him whether he is fine with joining Wisdom. And he was okay with that. Immediately he said, "Oh, right, let's do it." So that's how. And then during that time, we started to talk about this new band. There was no name, of course, nothing, but how should we start it? So it was nice times.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Like, of course, this year does mark 10 years of Beast in Black as a
Yeah,
band. Gotta think about it, mate. 10 years of Beast in Black. Like, do you think guys think we'd be around for 10 years and 10 years? Because you all have just like been killing it for the last decade.
yeah, it's and it's actually in this month. Beast in Black's been formed in October 2015, so it's exactly in this month, October. We just turned 10 years old. It's crazy. I mean, I remember clearly the first days which we spent together. The first night when we sat in a bar in Helsinki with the guys. That was the first time we five of us met each other. Well, it's a crazy ride. I really really enjoyed these 10 years, and I hope many decades ahead of us will be the same
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. Is there still like a bucket list goal for Beast in Black? Like, what would be like for you personally be like the one thing be like, man, wouldn't it be awesome if we did that?
I'm a big traveler, so if you would give me some more time, if I had some more time, I would say much smarter things. But I would love to play in Australia. I think that's the only, except for Africa, but that's the only continent which we didn't touch yet. And I would love to play in Australia. But also, I would like to support Metallica. It's one of my ultimate dream from many many years, but
Yeah.
it's quite impossible, especially with this kind of music. But I have some dreams and bucket list, which is like I wouldn't say it's empty, but there's some spaces still unfulfilled.
Yeah,
So
gotta try to play a show in Antarctica. Metallica did. Then you would play all seven continents.
yeah. That's wow. That's I really respect what they do. They always do something special. I'm watching bands most of the time from management's perspective, how they do it, and especially these Metallica is the my ultimate favorite. How they make it after 40 years in the business, like unbelievable.
Yeah,
40,
it's crazy, man.
45. Yeah.
Yeah. But tell me about making like the first Beast in Black album, Berserker. I love this album. Probably one of the best power metal debut albums of all time. Came out in 2017. So what was sort of like the whole writing and recording process, making like the debut full length Beast in Black album?
It's like I said, it's the whole Battle Beast thing until he quit. It was Anton's child, and so basically he continued the work what he did on the first three Battle Beast albums, and he wrote the album. Like for me too, is the favorite Beast in Black album until the next one because it's ready. I mean, the
Yeah.
new one. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
talk about that
Yeah,
too.
we'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there, but just like I also like this one very very much. But of course, I've been involved in the whole process from the beginning to the end. So they are all my children as well. Same for Anton and same for all of the guys in the band. But yeah, indeed, that was a kickstart for the band, especially the first music video, first single, which we brought out from this album, "Blind and Frozen." That changed everything. Well, it's hard to say change because there was nothing wrong even before that. So it's like it made our name a good name in a metal scene right from the kickstart. So
Yeah.
the production it was produced by Anton as well, and he recorded it in his home studio, which was at that time in his parents' home, and now he built his own home studio in his own home. So in another studio in his own home. So all the recordings are happening in his home.
Yeah, like every song on here is great, even going from the song Beasts of Black, like Blind and Frozen, Fifth Angel, Blood of a Lion. Like every song is great. It's like how with you holding down the bass, Anton and Kasperi with their soloing, and even Yanis with his voice. Like my God, one of the best voices. I feel like everybody is like on fire with the first album.
Yes, it was. I wouldn't say that everyone wanted to prove his skills or their skills, but somehow stars aligned. It came everything natural without pressure. Maybe that's a key. I think whenever a band can write songs and produce an album without pressure, that's always ends up with the best possible result. Whenever you get a little bit more successful, then there will be expectations from different parties and then from yourself. Yeah, I need to top the previous one, and it's not easy anymore.
Yeah.
So this album was born without pressure, and I think that's the key why it became so great.
Yeah, definitely. And what were some of like the first like Beast in Black shows like? Like how were like the fans' reactions to be like, wow, this band is awesome?
We were super lucky. We even with the start, live start. Anton had some connections from Better Beast years with managers who are the band official band managers too, by until today, and without even contracting them. So it's just friendly help from their side. We got the opportunity to play before Nightwish on their Decades tour, first show of their Decades tour in Helsinki. Uh, when was it? 2015. Yeah, even already in first year. It's going to be in November. So in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, it's going to be 10 years ago exactly. And we were the sole supporters of Nightwish, so we were in that lucky position that most of the people in the arena, Metro Arena in Espoo, were inside the building already, and we played several Battle Beast songs, and I think 3 songs which hasn't been recorded yet, Beast in Black songs which hasn't at that time they've been not recorded yet, and that was great. Reaction from the audience was really, really nice. We didn't expect that. And we were only fourth piece because Kasperi at that time, he's been playing for Udo. And they did that Dirk Schneider tour at that time. And that's why he couldn't participate on the first show. So we were only fourth piece. But that was really a night to remember. And the next show, we got an invitation after this show. We immediately got an invitation for 1 month later to play in the same arena with Sabaton, Stratovarius, and I think it was Gamma Ray,
Wow,
if I'm
what
not
a
mistaken.
lineup.
Yeah, this package and Beast in Black opened for them. It was, yeah, like a kickstart from this perspective as well. So from
Yeah.
this live perspective as well.
Yeah. And then next up is from Hell with Love, another great album in the Beast in Black discography because anytime when usually with the debut album you have like your entire life to write and there's a lot of hype with the first album. When it came to making From Hell with Love, did you felt like pressure to follow up Berserker?
Yes, of course. That's what I'm saying. But we were on the flow. So many things happened to us at that time. We got a tour with Nightwish, and even though we had lots of pressure on our shoulders, but somehow things went like naturally. And Anton has a big library of songs which he wrote during his like composing years, which is like never ending. I believe he has more than 1,000 songs, not all of them ready, but many which are like quite fully composed. And I think for this album, we chose most of the songs from his catalog, and he wrote several new ones as well. And yeah, so it was under pressure, but it came 1.5 years after Berserker, so it was such a short time. We didn't really have time to understand the pressure or feel that pressure on our shoulders. So that's why it was a lucky situation in a way.
Yeah, and I feel like this song is a lot. The songs on here are a lot more catchy than on Berserker. Like take like Sweet True Lies. I just think it's really catchy. It has that
That's the
kind of
first
like 80s vibe, and also songs like Die by the Blade has a really sounds like something from like Berserker as well. But I feel like every song has a vibe. Like I'm pretty sure it's like how like everybody like you and Anton and Yanis and everybody sort of like brings like their own influence into Beast in Black.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, mostly it's Anton's baby. All these songs, but we also gave our own input, especially Giannis, of course. His voice, is very special, very unique. So I'm glad you see it from this perspective.
Yeah, definitely. And then talking about your last album, Dark Connection, I like this. This is actually the album that I discovered Beast in Black on. I just got like the YouTube recommendations, and I was like, "Whoa, what is this?" And ever since then, I've been a fan of you guys. So tell me about making you guys' last album.
Yeah, we tried, again, we tried to top up the previous albums in any sense, production wise, and then later with music videos. And I think we managed. I think it's a way bigger production than the previous last year, previous two albums. Uh, Again, we made it within 16 or 18 months, so not too in such a short time. And even COVID was in between, so we were
Yeah.
ready with the album, ready to release it anytime when it made any sense. I really like the artwork of this album.
Yeah.
It's special.
Yeah. I also love where you are looking at like the naked lady. You're kind of like,
Yeah,
huh.
yeah. It had a meaning, so why it happens like that.
Yeah.
The Cynthia was born uh, in this special way.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is some kind of conception always with Beast in Black albums as well, like back in the day with Wisdom. Well, a different kind of conception. This was a cyberpunk album
Yeah.
with, but it doesn't mean that all the songs and everything is cyberpunk. It includes a lot of cyberpunk elements. That's what it means.
Yeah, especially love like the song Blade Runner, which of course it's named after the
Absolutely.
movie. Were you all like fans of Blade Runner at the time?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Especially Anton is a huge fan of this. Um, cyberpunk style movies and animes or whatever. So it's like uh, that's how he gathers his inspiration for the songs. And then when he figures out the theme of the upcoming album, then we build everything else up for that topic. So it's making an album is always like a nice adventure.
Yeah. Yeah, and so and what was like the touring cycle like? Because it was after like the pandemic and everything, and I know you guys finally toured the States for the first time. It was a little on the back of this album cycle. So what was that like? Because I remember seeing you all in 2023 at Prague Power, and I was like, wow, and you guys kicked so much ass then.
Oh, that was the second tour already. Before COVID, we've been signed for a support tour with Hammerfall in States for 2020. But COVID came in, the tour was postponed, of course, and then was postponed again. And Hammerfall didn't want to postpone it anymore, but we wanted to go to the States. And that's why 2022, I think that was our first run in the
Yeah.
States.
Oh yeah, I
And
forgot about that.
we did it alone. Yeah, how could you? Well,
No, well,
anyway,
I was
of
gonna
course,
see you in Atlanta, but then you had
that
to
was we did.
cancel your show because I think Yanis had gotten sick or something.
At that time we had to take this COVID tests before flying. Even though we had the flight tickets, everything, we had to like one day before the actual flight. Everybody had to go to this control to check if he has COVID or not, and everybody passed it except for Yanis. But one day before the flight, so we realized we got the info on the other day morning that he cannot make it. But of course, we had to fly. So the whole band was there, the whole crew, everybody was there except for Yanis. And he had to do it every single day until he got a negative test, and then he could fly. And that's why we couldn't make it for the first 3 shows. So the first US tour started with first 3 canceled shows. It was such a great start. But he made it to Dallas, and then after that we made a really nice tour. It was with Striker and Seven Kingdoms. I really like those two bands, and still
friends with
good
those
friends
guys.
of ours. Yeah. I just met Camden. He's tour managing Windrose at the moment, and I visited their show two weeks ago in Hungary, and we met here and there anyway. So that's how we started in the US, and that tour continued. We did our headline run. It was 3 weeks, I think, and then we joined Nightwish, just came to the US at that time, and we joined them for 2 weeks, I think. That was really nice because we hit stages with 4,000 people, in America. That was really nice. And we came back next year when you saw us, starting with this Atlanta show.
Yeah.
Prague Power. I always dreamt of playing that festival.
The one festival where I don't have to travel far. I'm only like 40 minutes northwest.
That was nice. I really enjoyed that. That was the first show of that tour. So then we made, I think, 5 or 6 weeks in the US and in Canada with Dance with the Dead. It was great travel party and great guys. That was a very nice tour.
Nice. And then I know last year you did like this EP, Power of the Beast. I thought it was a great EP. I especially love like the title track. So how'd the idea come to be to make a little like mini EP?
We've been talking about this, we live this online world nowadays. This physical sales are not that great anymore. It's more the streams and the online audio. And we've been thinking to try it out, how it works if we come up with a standalone single. Some bands did this already. I think several of them with this Bismarck, which became pretty successful, and later they released other songs as well. So we tried the same thing, basically. We knew that we cannot make it to a full album quickly, but to give some life signs to fans, we figured out to come up with this EP. Well, basically, this was one song with a music video, supported with a music video, and it turned out really successful. One of the favorite songs of fans when we play live. So this is kind of now a must to play on every show because fans, they really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And we did the same thing 1 year later as well.
Yeah, and I love the sort of like the live tracks you did One Night in Tokyo. Like those live versions of those songs are great. So what made you decide to like record some live tracks?
Two shows in Tokyo, and it was so successful. The label, our Japanese label, World Records, figured out that they suggested to release this short EP, live EP, and they liked Power of the Beast, the song itself, very much. And the idea came from that. They wanted to have a physical release for that song. And that's why we added, I think, 3 songs from that live show, 2 live shows. And actually, that's what I mentioned in the beginning of the interview, that that was mixed by the Wisdom guitar player, songwriter. So that's how, these connections coming back to the roots in the end. So. Nice. But the idea came from the record company, and I think it was a great idea because we've never released any compilation album, so it was something new again.
Yeah, and then lastly, back in April we released the single "Entered the Behelit," and I thought it was a great song, sort of like
what?
You did it for Diablo, but is that like gonna be on the next Beast in Black album, or is that just gonna be like a standalone single?
No, we've been working hard on the upcoming 4th Beast in Black album at that time, and just out of blue, our record company Nuclear Blast in Europe, Nuclear Blast came with this info that Blizzard, this big gaming company is looking for. Well, they basically directly they want to have a cooperation with us to support their new release extension of the Diablo. And yeah, we had a meeting, online meeting. Actually, they will come tomorrow. We will play in London tomorrow, and these guys they have an office in London, and I think three of those guys there will come and visit first time live. But anyways, this is just a side comment. So we had a meeting, and then we figured out that would be the best to promote this kind of a new release, new extension of Diablo, if we come up with a new song, which was already in making. And that totally, they wanted to, because Blizzard then cooperated with Berserk. That's how they found us for this new extension. And that was quite I think Beast in Black is the only band who is like constantly in many albums, on all albums, in many songs, they recall this Berserk stories. Thanks to Anton, because he is a huge, huge, huge fan of Berserk. And well, that's how they found us. And we figured out it would be the best release to write or finish one song from which was supposed to be part of the fourth album. So we wrote it, they liked it, we made it, they liked it, and we made a standalone single from this song in the end. And we've been thinking to include it on the new album or not to include it. And in the end, we decided not to include it. So on the new album, there will be 10 brand new songs, not Enter the Bailiff and not Power of the Beast. They remain standalone singers. So the stamp of that time.
Yeah, but with this upcoming new album, are you going to pick up where you left off after Dark Connection, or are you going to try something different that Beast in Black hasn't done before?
You know, it's always we always try to improve and do something different. So it's never copy paste ourselves. There will be a different theme for the album, and I think very different songs compared to any of the previous albums and songs. I mean, so there will be, of course, Anton's trademark, songwriting trademark will be there, but I believe this will be the biggest variety of genres of songs, which we have ever written. So I think that's why I'm saying this will be the best Beast Black album. But if I wouldn't say this, why would we release it if we don't think that this would be the best? So, but I strongly believe that this is something new what we created now. Well, I'm saying created because it's recorded. The vocals are done just before this tour, which we started. The vocals been completely recorded. So mixing and some additional things are missing to make it fully ready. So that's why I can honestly say that it will be something special.
Yeah. And is there like a tentative release date for the new album?
Yeah, it's just tomorrow, Monday in London here. We'll have a meeting with record company, and basically tomorrow we will decide the exact date of the release. So if we talk tomorrow in the afternoon, I could tell a certain date, but now I can't tell it yet. There's some ideas. There's actually more ideas. So there's a sooner or there's a later idea as well, and that's what we will have to discuss with the label. What is the best possible solution to reach the most people at that time? So yeah, it's going to be decided tomorrow.
All right. And so kind of also like in the end to sort of wrap things up, what's next for Beast in Black? I know you're currently on tour right now in Europe. Is just anything else with you also like to plug in terms of tours and stuff, if you're allowed to say?
Yeah, it's we are now doing this tour with Halloween, which is like we all like Halloween's music, so it's a huge, um, how to say that, very nice people anyway. So it's the two shows so far, which we have done, went in a really relaxed situation, and uh, we respect their 40 years. It's an honor to be part of this tour. But we use this tour at the same time to promote our own tour, which we'll do with the fourth album in the autumn. So we'll do the summer festivals, and after the summer festivals, we will go on tour in Europe with the new album and with Sonata Arctica and Frozen Crown. They will join us for this run. I can't tell how much I wait that tour. That's for long. That's gonna be our first headline tour again. We now already started preparations for that tour, and like I said before this tour with Halloween, we announced 10 or 11 shows already, and during the days of the tour, we are announcing one show per day, basically. So there will be 20 something, if I remember correctly, 22, 23 dates of this massive European tour. And that will be the biggest Beast in Black tour so far, with big places and with pyro, stage decoration, everything. I really want to squeeze the most out of it, put everything in it, and create something big with what is possible on a level.
Yeah.
So that's the future plan, which is not that far. It's 1 year from now, and like I said, the preparation has been started like months ago already.
Yeah. Is there any plans to come to the back to the States soon?
Definitely, and I can't tell much about this yet, but yeah, if you stay tuned, you will get some great news soon.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I am going to see you in January at the 70,000 tons of metal cruise, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you, mate, for this conversation. It is great to be able to have Beast and Black on my show finally. It's just any final words you want to say to the viewers that are watching this to close this out?
I'm very grateful for your support, and that I promise that you're not going to be disappointed in the new album after long waiting. It will worth it, and the tour as well afterwards. So since we made people waited for this long, we will give some great things in exchange for that to you. Thank you very much.
Awesome. So everybody, mate Molnar from Beast and Black, and we'll see you next time.